All right, this is Dr. Life here, still hiring fruit inspectors. Listen, all my fruit inspectors out there, I want you to say, we're not buying it. We're not buying it. I can't hear you. Say, we're not buying it. We're not buying it. Check that fruit. All right, we checking the fruit. If the fruit is no good, we not buying it. That's what a fruit inspector does. Because men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie, and fruit definitely don't lie. All right, if it's spoiled, if it's bad, we toss it out. If it's good fruit for consumption, we take it, we buy it. All right, so we're gonna finish this conversation about Great Britain, and I'm not picking on Great Britain and Europe. Send us your people, keep your philosophy. Once again, send us your people, our brothers and sisters. We welcome them into the United States of America, but keep the philosophy of the European Union and Great Britain, the UK, keep that. We already proved that historically, the United States of America, our philosophy, our Constitution is more superior. We've proven that in history. All right. But the thing about Great Britain that y'all need to understand is they never gave up. They have never stopped the colonialism that they first came to the Americas in. All right. And we're going to go back to history. Now, the thing you got to be careful about is our brothers from the West are masters of revisionism. Revisionism is going back into history and changing history over and over and over to make it say what you want it to say. That's revisionism. All right. It's something called the straight truth. All right. That's what I'm telling you right now. The straight truth. What our brothers in the West from Europe, from Great Britain are masters of is being politically correct. All right. It's no politically correct. It's either the straight truth or the untruth. All right. It's no political correctness. All right. So I'm going to show you they never gave up. So even when the Emancipation Proclamation happened, meaning the United States of America announced an end to slavery. The United States of America announced the end to slavery. Did Great Britain end all of their slave operations? Let's go to history. The straight truth history, not revisionist history, the straight truth history. The truth is Great Britain left the United States of America because they were forced out of the United States of America, right? And then they went to India. They went to India and took colonialism to India. They exported Indian slaves because the import of African slaves was no longer allowed. All right. The United States of America was governing their seas and their ports and all of that with their navy. So it was no more African slave trade happening, coming to the Americas. So they went to our other dark-skinned brothers, the Indians and sisters, the Indians. And they started taking them to the Caribbean, to Guyana. All right. So they called Africans, the British called Africans in America niggas. And they called Indians in Guyana coolies. Look it up. It's history. I'm talking the straight truth. This ain't no revisionism. This is straight truth. All right. Great Britain never stopped. And what y'all need to understand is their math never adds up. They revise history and they revise math. I'll give you an example. They have 7, 8, 9, 10 different type of economists when it comes to the economy. Because they keep revising math. They revise the numbers to cook the books on supply and demand and GDP and all of this stuff so that you, the regular masses, you can't understand none of the math that they're projecting. All right. So the closer you get to figuring it out, they revise it again, come up with another group of economists who come up with some other new funny numbers that nobody can follow. 1 + 1 = 2. That's math. The math of the West doesn't add or multiply. It only subtracts and divides. I'll say that again. The math, y'all gotta excuse me, I'm on my workout. You know what I'm saying? You can't be a lifeguard if you don't work out every day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting these 10 miles in. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm multitasking, right? So they only subtract and divide. I'll explain to you again. We have, and my whole point is the British are here in the United States of America trying to make this the United Kingdom, trying to bring their philosophies from the European Union into the United States of America. And we're not having it. We already defeated those philosophies. They don't work. Example, we have an agency that is supposed to monitor and regulate the stock market. They're supposed to monitor and regulate these businesses that trade on the stock market. It's called the Security and Exchange Commission. All right. The Security and Exchange Commission, their whole job is to watch when somebody reports something about their business is worth this amount, their shares are worth this amount, and then they want to sell those shares on the stock market. The Security and Exchange Commission's job is to go in, look at those shares, look at the company, make sure there's no fraud going on, no fraudulent transactions going on, and then put the stamp of approval and say, oh yes, this company is reputable. All right. But our brothers from the West, right, who claim to come in the form of capitalism, but what they come, their whole mode is capitalizing on dehumanization economically. I'll say that again. It's code. It's called code. Capitalizing on dehumanization economically. They capitalize on individuals that they have deemed 3/5 of a human being. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know, the Dred Scott case, Supreme Court, United States of America. British are back. They're back. 3/5 of a human being. And the Constitution of the United States of America says that all men are created equal. And then our Supreme Court, who then was run, who the chair of the Supreme Court at the time of the Dred Scott case was one of those colonialistic minded brethren from Great Britain, all right, who then after the Emancipation Proclamation, after we were so-called free, deemed that the Dred Scott case, no, we property. Serious? The British are back, y'all.